2-2 sounds a lot better than 1-3. So what do we know about the Bears that you've liked through the first 4 games of the season?
I know that the coaching staff is qualified, and I said it before the ball went in the air, even in the preseason. The one thing I'm certain of is that there are going to be a much better coach team than they have been in years. Does that mean that they haven't made any mistakes? No. Coaching staff is probably going to self-scout and look at some of the stuff, and Ben Johnson says repeatedly, look, it starts with me, and I like the accountability there. I think they're a better coach team. I think their young quarterback is starting to really get it, and I'm seeing progress on a week-to-week basis. And those are 2 really important things to me. The other thing I know, guys, is that the line of scrimmage, it's not good enough. It just isn't. Like, we can talk about their offensive line, and that's a problem. I think their defensive line at this point is even more of a disappointment. And when you factor in all that's been, I won't go through the exercise with you guys and bore you with all of the resources that have been placed on the offense or the defensive line, but they're getting nothing out of them, Jonathan, and no pass rush. Like, they were fortunate. Geno Smith threw the 3 interceptions with no pressure. I give Kevin Byard and Tyreek Stevenson a ton of credit, but that wasn't because they were being pressured. And look, you better buckle up for the Commanders. You're going to get them in a week, and they're really good at the line of scrimmage. They run the ball better than anyone in the league other than the Bills. They stop the run. They only give up 3.5 yards. So I know they're a good, well-coached team. I know their quarterback's on the rise, and I know that at the line of scrimmage they're not good enough.
Tommy, I want to get back to baseball from yesterday because you're a diehard baseball fan like me and like Hoodie is. When you were watching the game, the Cubs have first and second in the 6th. Nobody out, Ian Happ up, and they elect not to bunt there, and then he hits into a double play. They get nothing out of the inning. I thought that was a poor decision. And then they do bunt with Matt Shaw. They play small ball, and then Nico gets the sack fly, and they end up getting the insurance run. Mike Schilt walked Michael Busch to get to the guy leading the National League in batting average with runners in scoring position, 371, Nico Horner. It made no sense to me. I don't understand why he would do it. And after the wild pitch by Estrada moved the runners to second and third, if you're going to be consistent, then you walk Nico there to get the double play set up again. What was your take on those?
I didn't think it was the felony that you thought it was. I get Nico's been great with runners on in scoring position. But Nico's not going to hit a home run either. So you get first base open, right? You got a runner on second. You got a righty on the mound. Bushy's a lefty, and he has been very good. I didn't think it was a crime to put him on and then pitch to Nico. And I know you said yesterday as well, this is a pitcher that has a tendency to throw that 52-foot slider. Well, if he throws the 52-foot slider to Busch, you still have the runner on second advancing to third. So, I mean, I just don't think that you assume that the pitcher is going to throw a wild pitch. I think, again, I understand your logic, but I didn't think, that Nico's not a threat to hit a 3-run home run. Bushy is a threat to hit a 2-run home run. So I didn't think it was the crime that you thought it was, and the reason why it became such a problem was because the pitcher threw a 52-foot slider. So, look, I don't know. It's maybe the manager was going righty-lefty, and that was what was more important to him. So, but fortunately for the Cubs, it didn't. It was an issue that they made something out of nothing. And Nico, I think the bigger talking point here is knowing that you had a runner on, second and third at that point, and that pitcher couldn't throw that pitch that he wanted because he had to keep the ball up, because if you throw another wild pitch, your run's going to score. That at-bat by Nico was fantastic. You could see it was kind of just a manufactured swing. All he was trying to do was get the ball to the outfield. So, I wouldn't put Mike Shilton to the baseball jail for what he did.
Gorman in Mount Greenwood on a Waddle Wednesday on Kap and J Hood. Gorman, good morning. Good. How are you?
I'm well, thanks. Now, I don't know if Tommy Waddle is going to do.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear what he said.
No, neither do we.
They're okay.
Gorman, you got a horrible cell, man. Did you borrow that from Eberflus?
Yeah, I did. He wasn't using it anymore.
That'll be all for Gorman.
That's it.
What a great one.
Well, he wanted to ask the question, was it a mistake to draft Luther Burden? And my retort to him, Tommy, would be, well, how many footballs do you expect him to catch when you've got many mouths to feed on this offense?
Specifically, he wanted to know if it would have been more prudent to spend that pick on a true left tackle or an edge rusher.
Well, yeah, man, but the horse is out of the barn now.
Yeah, I mean, do you have a greater need at pass rusher and left tackle than you do at wide receiver? Yes. Based on that, yeah, I mean, I could if you said, hey, I want to go in the Wayback Machine, I want to change this pick. As much as I think Luther Burden could be a difference maker, if you address a more important position that is a greater need, I would have no problem doing that. I think it's a little unfair to Luther Burden, to say, hey, we shouldn't have picked you, but we'll find out. I mean, there's no question that was a luxury pick, especially when you had, issues. They were thinking, though, that they solved their problem by giving Dayo Adangbo $32 million guaranteed, guys. Like, that never registered with me. And maybe he'll turn out to be the second coming of Lawrence Taylor, but right now, you're not getting Jack Diddley poo from your pass rush.
Tommy, seeing that it's a long season, do you think that by them drafting these extra players that, will help if someone get injured, God forbid?
Yeah, there's no question, Jay. I mean, they have an abundance of resources out on the edge. I think Zacchaeus can flat out play, and what they ask him to do, he's fantastic. DJ still, everyone's like, where's DJ Moore? He's still the second most targeted wide receiver, guys. So I think you got to let this offense breathe for another month, another 4 games before you really understand how everybody's, position or what they're being asked to do is going to be defined. But yeah, there's no question, guys. Like, I can't sit here, as much as I think Luther Burden's got tremendous skill, and I think he can be a special player. You keep him involved and get him, pointed in the right direction. The kid's got great talent. I can't sit here and argue against, hey, would they have been better off drafting a left tackle or a pass rusher? Because those two spots right now look to be weaknesses.
Yeah, and it would be interesting if they hadn't taken Burden and they took someone at left tackle. He'd probably be a starter right now, but maybe their grand plan, I don't know if they think this far along up there, maybe they're thinking DJ will be out of here after this year, and then we go Burden and Rome.
Could be. You could, and that's not a shot at DJ. It's just, hey, at some point we got to pivot.
Numbers game, kid.
Yeah. So,
Tommy, it was great spending time with you,
Thank
the crew
you,
in Vegas. You and that one of my favorite moments is Tommy and I just walking through the Mandalay Bay, realizing how old we are.
Yes.
At 2:00 in the morning Pacific.
wow. Exactly. Well, my eyes were closed by 12:30 local time every night I was there, Jonathan.
Realizing that'll be all.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Tommy.